Welcome back to the podcast. I am Mr. Mo, and I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for, why do you say tuning in?
I don't know.
I think we get that from radio.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What color shirt?
A
black shirt. You make me sick.
A few moments later.
Welcome back to the Over Podcast. Hope y'all enjoyed that first, did you say installment? Hope y'all enjoyed the first episode where me and my son kind of sat down. We did some kind of candid talk. And today, I think is a perfect time to really have on.
Look at all this in my lap. That's not cool. You were recording, weren't you?
We'll be back after this intro. Love you all. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Mr. Mo.
And I'm Tiff. Okay, wait, time out. What am I? This is the Made Up podcast.
It's the old.
Oh, okay, so I'm Mrs. Made Over there.
I don't think we ever want to be. I don't want to be.
You know, I
can't control what you want to be. At the end of the day, I think it's up to you.
Well, I'm your wife. And I'm wife. That's Mr. Bowen. I'm wife. Can I be wife? Can I just be?
You got papers to prove that.
Sorry. All right. And I'm Mrs. Madeover.
Finally.
I'm not. Is this too close to me? Am I good?
I think you'll be good. I shouldn't be able to dismantle this audio.
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure.
It feels good. Can I say first off, it feels good to be back in this space, but then it feels strange to be back in this space. Because I think in a lot of ways, I was kind of over this space.
This space?
Just the space of content, the space of creating content is not always,
Mm-hmm.
you know, those are my creators. Like, you know what I'm talking about. But I think with this space right here, we're jumping right into topic.
Clearly.
You know, there's going to be some giggles, different stuff along the way. But I just want to talk about this space. You know, this, in a lot of ways, content is, it's either something you do, you want to do, or something that you just like, you know.
You're not going to do it.
I'm not.
You're not going to do it.
Oh, yeah, plenty that says, you know, I'm not going to do it because it takes a lot.
Definitely.
It takes carving out schedule, making sure things are, unless that's just us.
I mean, you should be carving out a schedule, I would think.
I mean, I've seen.
But I think the way our schedules are, I think for us it's a little bit different because our schedules are a little bit everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just, okay, come on, let's shoot. No, we have different components of our schedule that sometimes it can be complex.
Yep.
So we have to, as creators, have to be intentional when we are preparing, I'll say. I'm not going to say the planning part, but preparing to go into content. And that's the difference, I think, for us, is that we really have to be intentional because the slightest of a shift of us doing content can make it not happen.
But I think it's crazy because I've seen people recording cars. I've seen people record in the strangest places. They be like duck down in the corner recording. And I'm like, man, that's awesome.
And here we go. We gotta
have the whole
we got the kid and caboodle.
thing. We gotta have lights, camera. We see all this different other stuff. But sometimes I think, like, I be like, man,
We do it too much.
that's what I'm like, Lord, am I doing too much?
I think we can do it on the go. We can shoot content on the go in the form of vlogging. Like, that's not something that we can't do. We can do it. But I think too, we're flexible people. And we're not just doing it on the go. We are also sit down type of people. Like, we can do it. We're multifaceted. Like, we can do it in the car. We could record in the car. We could record on vacation. We can record walking through a store. We can record sitting down here, in our homemade studio in the comfort of our own home. And those are just some of the things. And so I think with that, for us, that's why I said it's always different. Like, when I look at us as content creators, I don't look at other people. I look at what they do and then get ideas.
Of course.
But I know we're not just one set thing. Like, I would love to do like a little quick short, and I was like, hey, babe, can we just do a day in the life of, and you're like, okay, well, what does that entail? And I'm like,
I mean, because that's two cameras split in two different directions. And I think for me, I always think about the workload.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of the workload. I know, okay, if we shoot today, who else going to edit? Who else going to upload, post?
Right.
This is this because, I mean, we do have a variation. I want to say a variation of things that are, that really take precedent in our life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't really move it because it's like, if you move that, then you going to move some other stuff.
Yeah. But it wasn't in the instance of us doing that, like, when we're separate. We could also do that, but more so having a day where, like, when I take a day off to be able to spend time.
Oh, for sure.
Like, those type of things. But, we do stuff like, we go, we have candle dates and, like that I think would be cool. Even if it's not a full-fledged, but it could be snippets. I think that was what my mindset was when I said that.
So give me your thought on content influence, because I know you watch quite a few influencers. I watch quite a few podcasters.
Right.
Because I know, like, I just know the space. I feel like, well, I'm not saying, I know God is calling me to. Mm-hmm. It'd be pointless. And I think my sister was talking about it today, to get this word that we get from the house of God and not share it.
Right.
And keep it so like, oh, that was good. And go home and just like, don't spread it out.
Right.
To those who perhaps may need it, because most people won't listen to church. Right. If they'll listen to a podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think it's a great avenue. I think it's a great vehicle. Let's put it in terms of a vehicle. It's a great vehicle to put the word of God in, to deliver it to different places or different spaces.
In this particular format, in this type of format.
So your thoughts on this particular space?
Now, when you say space, do you mean like the podcast / influencer?
For me, it's all the same.
I guess when I look at, for like my breakdown or how this space kind of goes for me, I jump in, I jump out. And what I mean by that is I have like all of these big ideas, because the reason why I said...
What big ideas? Let's talk about that.
Like some of the things that I see. So like you said, you watch podcasts. The undiagnosed ADHD side of me won't allow me to like really focus in. Like I can start listening to something, but then I got to go back because I'm missing it. So I got to go back several times. And so the ideas that I have is, okay, the snippets of like the vlogging, because sometimes people don't know. Sometimes people have the wrong perception that you cannot be in a godly marriage and be godly individuals and still have a great time without all of the other things. So in my mind, that's where a lot of the like, hey babe, let's do a day in the life of us. So then people can see like, okay, because you're like, well, what do y'all do on a day-to-day basis? If we tell it, we go home, we go to work, we go to church, Walmart, Sam's, back home. But and for
I showed y'all our receipts
just from this week. But I think like when people hear that, it's like, oh, that's boring. But in the process of that, like to us, I'm just gonna give you the basic. That I'm giving you the surface level. So people think like, oh, that's basic, y'all boring. Like when you tell people I just go home, work, church, like that's it. Because that's really what we're doing. But the details and the things that happen along the way in our life.
But
it's never like it's literally never a dull moment.
To be honest, like how much is there to really get into? We're enjoying. Let's just get that out there.
But okay, let's be honest though. But we find stuff to like.
That's us. We're seekers.
So that's why. But that's where a lot of my ideas come from. Because like, who do you know that does a candle day? Never heard of a candle day. Some we created because we just decided, hey, let's go do this. But you wouldn't hear and know it is not making candles. So those that
head is going.
We're not. Yeah, no, it's not making candles. We don't go and sit down and make candles, which would be cool.
What?
But I like the way we go with candle day.
But like, because I feel like if we make a candle, it's gonna be something that's gonna flare your allergies up, and then we gotta throw that candle away. So it's just kind of pointless for that. It's just kind of good if it's already made. That good? Yeah, that good. That's bro. It's so upset.
I don't know. I was just flaring her now. But that's where I come up with those ideas. Is I see what other couples are doing.
We're building candle day.
We haven't. I was telling somebody about that today. I was like, no. I was like, we go candle day, and they're like, huh? You know, they're like, oh, Bath and Body Works. No,
I think we would have to come back and give y'all some dating each other type of ideas, and
that's not always
that won't break the bank.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. That's not always going out to big dinners, sit down dinners. Like we do all of the things. I would say.
We're random.
But that's why I was yeah. But that's why I was saying that the ideas that I gather in my mind is how many people, because within the first 10 minutes you typically lose people after that. Like you go any longer than 10 minutes, you got to say your important stuff in the very beginning most of the time. But then you do have, because you have people that are like that.
Yeah.
And especially the millennial generation, like they ain't trying to hear nothing.
I'm really like that, us.
Yeah, we ain't really trying to hear for real. So, like, not for a long time. I mean, we listen, but not for a long time.
Yes, it depends.
If you're engaged, you got me, I'm locked in. But if not,
you will get the next one.
I tune out, zone out like kid. But that's why I said things in the small. So I think the reason why I asked, do you podcasting or influencing, because to me they are two different things, right? But and this is why I say that, because most of what you see when people say that I am an influencer, I am trying to get them to bless you, do something. I use case in point.
Influencers nowadays are like salesperson.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm trying to get you, and I'm gonna tell you, I will tell you, I am very big on that, right? So my biggest influence. I always toot her horn. I just love how she handles things and how she carries herself in her influencing way. I love my cousin
Just what's on the show.
Julie Simmons, y'all. Julie Simmons.
But she like you giving her government?
That's her. That's her thing.
Just check.
Yeah, that's her. No, that's not all other stuff.
She was
Jake,
very
yeah.
confident.
That's all her name is and all stuff.
That's crazy because
Yeah. So she's one of the influencers that I watch all the time, right? Some of it is motivated. Some of it is, she's a stay-at-home mom. So a lot of what she shows is showing moms that, are millennial. These are the things that you can do. She encourages, but most of what she's doing is a product that she is influencing you to buy. Guilty. I bought a whole bunch of stuff. Like, she good at what she do. She get me every time.
she hasn't got me.
She ain't got you, but she get me. Like, and so
I guess she got you.
She got you technically. She did. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, hey, let me hold your card.
Carrie did it again.
She did it. So, so when I think of influencing, from what I'm seeing, this is from what I'm seeing, it is more of the, I'm trying to get you to purchase something. I'm telling you how something is. I'm going out and I'm trying it, or brands are coming to you and saying, hey, can you try this, and then promote it. That's when I think of influence. Podcasting for me is a little bit different. And I say that because when podcasting, we are giving people the tools to be able to gather information, apply it to their lives, and then share it with other people.
You don't watch podcasts all the time.
I have not watched podcasts in a long time.
Because as you're watching, they would do something like, hey, matter of fact, if you are looking for a great coffee,
try Rise, RYZE.
Our Rise coffee is truly amazing. At first, I had a hard time really staying up. I had a difficult time going to sleep. But this new Rise has risen up in my life and has given me new hope. It is a mushroom coffee. This coffee is amazing. You can get it in the chai tea. You can get it in matcha. You can get it in the cocoa. The cocoa will knock you out.
It will, if it's for bed.
If you think Mike Tyson hit hard, check out this coffee.
And if you would like 15% off forever, even on your subscriptions, you can type in the Made over Insta 15. That is THEMADEOVERINSTA 15 for 15% off your order and your subscriptions.
There you go. Get you some Rise in your life.
Some rising.
Let it change your life.
It will.
Back to our regular schedule program. See, they do stuff like
They do. But that's what I'm saying. But podcast.
I mean, the coffee is fire.
It is fire.
But
it really is.
That's what they do. I think it's fused together to me, from podcast to anything influencing, anything content.
Yeah.
Is potential. That's just the whole space to me. That's just the general whole population of content.
And giving you some, but that was the other part I was going to say. It's still getting people to do something. It's just depending on what it is, because everybody won't, insert a plug, but sometimes they may do the long talk, and then sometimes they'll have those snippets. So that's why I was saying, hey babe, how about we do XYZ? When it comes down to just us doing content. And then that's us taking what we typically do long form to make it into something that is short form. So in this space, I think for you and I, we have so much given to us, so much that is being poured. Okay. So what we want to pour it out. So for us, the platform of podcasting, it really does fit us better.
So how do you feel about your husband starting his own podcast?
Himself. I really think that it's a great idea. And I'll
be honest though.
No, I'm so serious. So, right, I'm not. Yeah, I'm really not slighted. Um, I think that the difference between because we have all these different branches. So we have the Made Over, the Made Over podcast. We have now the Over podcast, and then we have Mo and Tiff. I think the the way each is constructed and the way each is broken down, and not that the audiences may not overlap, but I think in this time and in this season, the male generation needs more godly men pouring out positivity
Yeah.
and speaking positivity to where when you first said it, I was like, so we getting rid of us? Now I was slighted then. Yeah, I was like, wait, hold up. Pause. Pump the break. But
That
when
just
you,
sounds.
I know it did. It was
Get rid of us a week
get
so I can do me. I just.
like, yeah. Um, sometimes I crack myself up. So when it comes down to it, it was like, oh man, this is something that's needed. And then of course, every time now that I'm turning on, opening my phone and unlocking it, because I'm not turning on TV and watching it. Or every time I'm reading an article, every time I see something on social media about a young male, or it's like, Mo and Tiff can help couples. And Mo and Tiff can help singles
I think
that are seeking to
individuals too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's what I mean, singles, like individual, because they need to see that tandem of on some things. How do you think and how do you see things from the male's perspective and then the female perspective? So Mo and Tiff does that. But then there's sometimes where, like you just told me this other day, like, babe, there's just some things that I'm not gonna be able to do. You gotta do it. You gotta put your hand to it because like it's our girls. I can only do so much to the girls. You gotta do all the other things. So in that same instance, it's the Over podcast is for that very thing. The Over podcast is so that young men, older men, men of all generations can hear the wisdom that you have to give.
I think for me, I know for that. Yes, I don't know what the audience is going to, how they're going to react, how it's going to go. But I know the Holy Ghost is giving me things, and I've been learning for a very long time on not just male and female, but just in general.
Yeah.
Just wisdom, period, on dying to myself daily. And this is one of my most extreme disciplined times. Like extreme. I've never been this disciplined a day in my life. I used to despise discipline, like doing the same thing. But this is not the same thing, not getting no results, but it's getting great results. And I never thought me to be a tool to be used, because honestly, I never wanted it.
What do you mean you never thought of it?
Not in this. I'm kind of like what my sister said earlier. Like, I wanted to be on TV.
I mean, okay, wait, pause. Where are you now?
What you mean?
You have TV, dude.
No, somebody like Denzel.
Okay. You ain't Denzel, but you're close enough to it because
First of all, I am Denzel. Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. So I guess this is a thing that you're saying that, but if I go back 12 years, even then when we weren't even an idol then, and you said the things that you said to me in the world, in that moment, God was already using you for so can deal. But I'm done already. You check it. But he was already using you for just a tool to like a tool to start breaking down things that were already built up. Now you're just doing it on a larger scale. Like me, it was like, okay, here's this person. And so that's why, yeah, like the over podcast is gonna pull everybody. But it's I think in this season that we're in, just in the world, a lot of young men or men in general will start to gravitate because of the simple thing that you're speaking truth. Now, females are going to gravitate because
eye candy.
it's. I was trying not to go there. You make me sick. I can't.
This dude is hilarious.
Oh my God.
My husband does not make me like that. But what I'm saying,
Not. That's not what I was going to
I
say.
think they will tune in because
You're handsome.
Besides all of those things,
You do voices too.
besides all of those things, I think that most females are like most men, and we're broken.
Yeah, that's yeah. Because it's like fatherly. I mean, it's like giving fatherly advice.
Wow, Father, that just sounds old. That took it to a whole different level. That's
I mean, you are older.
like pop, like
Done. All right, that's right. Thank you so much for tuning in.
you said.
I like it.
Golly.
Oh my God, no, babe. Like, come on now. But it is.
I get what you're saying.
It is true fatherly advice. And fathers will be looking to you for that fatherly advice because sometimes they just don't know do it right. And you have been granted, that ain't probably the word, but you have been placed in the position to be able to receive from men that at one point they weren't doing it right. And so they've now instilled you how to do it right and what you need to do that they didn't do that they learned from. And now they're teaching you, and now you're taking what they're have taught you and continue to teach you to be able to pour that out into the atmosphere. I'll put it that way, into the world, so that people can hear.
But one thing I want people to also understand: it was a choice to actually take it.
Yes,
because
yeah,
it's amazing the things that I was taught back then that I took. That was so negative and detrimental to my life. And it literally got me nowhere. So now, when I'm giving advice now, sound advice for why I surround myself with literally men of God. Okay, I'm talking stern in this thing. Who don't mind checking me. Okay, nah, you what?
Yeah. I
have a mom that will also
get you in your place.
No problem. You know,
Yeah.
let you know. Boom, boom, boom. But I think we worship so much of our surroundings, but we don't understand if our surroundings is either building us up or tearing us down.
Right.
And I had to notice that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to notice the difference between me being saved and me being unsaved. And the realization of what was my fault and what was really just my fault. What I allow, and then what I should have just said, okay, yeah. I should have told that girl. No.
Dan, I'm glad I went drinking water this man.
But it's true, it's honest. I'm a whole lot wiser, whole lot different. Because I think more about consequence. I'm huge on consequence.
Yeah. But that's going to be the thing. I mean, but that's going to be the very thing that you're able to do on the Over podcast when you're telling people, hey, at the end of the day, you could be where I am. It's all about a choice, but you got to take the steps. That is the part where people are going to learn, because you're not a person that says, yeah, I just did it. You said, no, I made the choice to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I think at the end of the day sets us both apart is, okay, yeah, we could have just did it, but we could have also chose not to do it. But to get where we are, we had to literally make the conscious decision to do what we were being told was the right way to do things.
So,
Like, we had to choose to listen.
so my question now to you, how important is, and especially now, I would say now, how important is it now for believers to occupy this space? To you, your
Which
thoughts,
space? Podcast, like this space we in right now.
content.
Jeez. I mean, it goes into what was said today. Like Bonnie said it plain as day. Mom and Dad said it. We are called to be.
Let me touch base. It's amazing how she taught exactly what Mom and Dad taught,
And it was not even live.
and it wasn't even live to me.
It wasn't even live, and that's what the first thing she said is the live stream working? Because I see your front, because I couldn't find it. And I said, yeah. I said, well, I think it just wasn't supposed to be live. Had no idea. I didn't tell her what it was. I had no idea. Like, she had no idea, and some of the same things were said.
It mirrored
the exact same thing that was said.
And the crazy part is, as I was heading back to run some errands, I said to myself, when I look at the present and the future of our ministry, how you know that they are matching up and we're going to be good from here on down the line is that when they talk and they speak, it's literally the same.
Same, and don't even know it. Yep.
But I just wanted to point that out. Like to me, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
She had no clue.
Had no clue.
If I sent her the actual recording of the day, it would probably blow her mind.
Yeah.
That she literally, a lot of the points that she talked about.
She said it.
My sister, man.
It all lined up. Like, but it's what we've been saying. It's what we've been saying specifically since we've seen Disciples in the Moonlight.
Facts. And that's what prompted this.
Because that's what we should be doing.
For those who's never seen this movie,
we can
take time out. Please take time out we're going to try to find a link or talk to the people about somehow, I don't know what's going on. But we seen this movie called Disciples in the Moonlight. And ever since then, that has prompted me to really get on my job, especially as far as for the kingdom, bringing people and discipling people. Not saying I'm a pastor, not saying I'm a bishop, not saying I'm an archbishop, not saying I'm the bishop or the archbishop, but what I'm saying is, all right, we are supposed to be discipling and bringing people to God. So the movie is very, very, very good.
You're trying to say that it's on. We'll have to double check though. And
put the link in the description.
It looks like it's streaming, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and then Fandango is what it looks like. It's
all right.
So it looks like it's actually streaming. So we'll just check. We'll check and see. Yeah.
Link.
And on Roku. So we'll definitely check all those and then post it.
But how important is this time as far as for content and us as believers?
I mean, it's very important. Because the way of the world, I mean, it was said today, I mean, and I've heard that all my life is, when the end times. Well, I didn't know what it meant 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And I've been like for real in this thing, good solid 12 years making the choice, but within the last 10 years really shifting. And so understanding, one, what it is to disciple, understanding, two, why I am here, and realizing that, or being taught, let me rephrase that. So not being taught and realizing that in this walk, it really, we were never ever put here for us.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, it was like, okay, got it. And so it's very important for people or for the world, and also for other believers to see that there are other people like them. Because you can get lost. If you think that you're running this race, or if people think that they're running this race by themselves and they're on this walk and they're being believers, they're trying to be sold out for Christ, they're trying to do X, Y, and Z. If people really see the connection and realize like there are other people like me,
Yeah.
when be like, they not like us. Okay. Well, people need to know that, hey, the world is not like us believers, but they'll never know because they don't know where to go to look for them at. And I think
We so secluded.
like, oh, are you like, where? You know, I was going to do this. Like, where? I don't know. Keep. You see, that might not even show it because it's brain, but I don't know. But I feel like that's what we're doing. So in that moment, it is time to step forward. It's when I see, I told you about the young lady that I met a couple of weeks ago that came up to the school. I didn't know her, but she just, that my principal had, so.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know her.
What the hell her on?
Well, I did tell her that already.
Give her a call right now. Stop.
She probably would answer too. But like, I don't know the young lady, but the young lady, for whatever reason,
Text her if she's free right now.
found her way inside of my classroom, and we just got to talking. And she's like, "Do you know Jackie Hill?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like,
First of all, Jackie Hill, Perry. Was a respect.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, no, she's
That's cuz, right?
I cut her off. I cut her off so she couldn't get the rest. I'm like, yeah. So, but even in that instance, like that young lady, she's going through stuff. I didn't know what all she was going through. Still don't know, but I just see like her posting, and like she actually just messaged me today, and she was like, "Hey, have you started the book?" Because we realized we both have Jackie Hill Perry's her devotional, and so she was like, "We can start it together."
This young lady married?
No, she's not. She's actually in college. Let me see.
All my single righteous men. If you're looking,
I know. I just messaged, but
yeah.
In those instances like that, had I not been in the right space, one, not been in the right mindset, two, not hearing and listening and walking this thing out, maybe bumping my head a little bit, stumbling a little bit, falling a little bit, but she picked up on that.
Mm-hmm.
To find herself back in the room. I mean, like I said, talk like I'm sitting here like, I don't know this Chinese, but okay, Jesus.
Let's engage.
All right. And I think that's what we have to do about believers. Like my son was just, he told you the other day, like, yeah, I'll never get used to mom just randomly talking to strangers. She's all in somebody's conversation. Well, the gentleman, he was an older guy. He clearly was trying to figure out what his wife needed, and she was trying to direct. So in that moment, why not show kindness and help him? Why? I mean, yeah, okay, I was in on the conversation. My bad. Sorry. Sorry. But that's just me. That's me in the side that a lot of people don't see. Like, people see me kind of sit, reserved. But when I go out and about, and I think that's the thing that I like about podcasting as well, is that people get to see how I am that really don't know me.
You're approachable.
But that's what I'm saying. But a lot of people won't approach me.
Well,
you will. You're different.
But fine.
See, that's why it's there.
I like it orange.
But I think that even in those instances, we have to make ourselves more out there. Like, it doesn't take anything to be.
When you say out there, like, talking about.
Like, we have to make ourselves more present. And we do that by walking in the light of Christ. We do that by having that mirror image. Like, we teach and talk the way we talk because mom and dad taught us. We are walking in their likeness. The likeness that they're walking in is the likeness of Christ. And so because they're walking in the likeness of Christ and we're walking in the likeness of them, we are also walking in the likeness of Christ. But it's a choice.
They're truly extensions.
Right. So it's a choice. So we can all, and I said this to our son, we can always talk about the boldness. We can always say, oh, I want to be so bold in Christ. I used to be one of those. Lord, help me to be bold and confident in you. But it really just took me to be obedient.
That's the boldness.
Like, it really took me to be obedient, not boldness to talk about him, like, but the obedient part of not being afraid, not being reserved.
Well, so I think public speaking, they say in the great word, it's not even public speaking.
It's not.
It's just like us in front of a camera and we're speaking.
And we just be
And the public just so happen
to be watching.
So I get the trick behind it.
Oh yeah.
I get the why if somebody started, why they would stop.
Mhm.
I get why the hesitation, because first of all, I really don't want to do this. I don't.
But you're like,
I will be cool.
you're salesy, but you've never been a talker.
I mean, that's the gift of gab.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I can have a great conversation.
right. But this is what you was trying to do. You was trying to read some scripts and some lines and
That's it.
over some stuff.
That's it. That's my Will Smith on.
Tell them
Mine is the slap. And
slip.
I mean, I really just wanted to act. Honestly, I was shocked when my sister said, "Well, I see that." That's why
we got
her and JR really made for it.
Yeah.
They're both actors.
They are. All them. Just 24/7.
But shouts out to our
Rev and Rev's wife.
Rivette.
Rev and Revette. But back to that initial. People need to see, but other believers need to see that they are not alone in this walk. They need.
So it has to be 2 lights that has to show.
Yeah.
Which is 1 light, but it has to be bright enough so that unbelievers can see.
Yes.
Also believers.
Yes. So believers can recognize, like, oh wait, SOS, let me go here. But then an unbeliever can see, like, it's something that is different.
Something going on over there.
It's not. I see that light over there. Let me go check it out. Like, because it's pulling the curiosity.
Right.
Because we talk about it all the time and we've heard it time and time again. Sometimes people don't pick up a Bible.
Yeah,
we
only Bible ever read.
So that's why it's so important. Because in the movie, Disciples in the Moonlight, and I'm not going to tell the movie.
Don't be a spoiler.
I almost did. I had to.
Don't spoil the spoiler.
But in that movie, it made it so clear on, hey, we were called to win souls for Christ. We were called here to serve other people. It wasn't about those people. They didn't care what was going to happen to them.
I think I've been at that point for a very long time. Like, I just don't give a doggone.
And see, and that's where, but like, you remember,
hold up, yeah, believers say doggone.
Yeah, they. Hey, Red. But we say doggone.
But
I'm done.
But I get what you're saying, though. I think it's time to come from under whatever rock. It's strength in numbers. I love a group like that's why I love our church.
Yeah.
Like even after church today, I'm gonna share this. At first, I'm just like, man, you were trying to leave me alone. It's been a long week. And you know what I'm saying? So I was like, kind of tired. Then we had to come back and I had to set up here for podcast to shoot. I know for a fact, like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm on pure mission. But my church is so fired that they can get me to stay.
Yeah, he was trying. I said it.
8 more hours.
I was like, he's going to slide out the back door. They're going to know.
They sent the cavalry.
They're going to know.
So, but I enjoyed myself. But it's just a reminder, number one, of I understand what love, true love feels like. I know what true family is.
Right.
A lot of times, and then, me and my mom was talking about this earlier. The closest family is not the biological family.
Right. That's true.
It's the people who are not really your biological.
They're just connected.
They just connect. And that connection to me is stronger than blood.
Yeah.
A lot of times people say, blood thicker than water. But I think a lot of time the blood has been tainted, watered down. It's been everything. It's been processed. It's been filtered out. It's been so much. And I was telling me and my mom had, we had great conversations about basically the dynamic of family and how I'm closer to most people outside of my family. And a lot of y'all can relate that you're closer to people more outside of your family than people in your family.
Yeah. But I think
I'm okay with that.
the connection, though, is that we are.
Let me put that out there because I hear it say, see, so you just forget about family. No, it's not that I forget about family because I heard you. You in the blue shirt.
They probably like, I got a blue. Oh, he's talking about me.
Oh, he's talking about me. No. I understand the difference between unequally yoked now more than ever before.
Yeah. You're right.
I understand it. Like at first I didn't get it because I feel like, okay, I got to ride for my family. And hold up. So if your family going to hell, you going to hell too? First of all, I ain't going to hell.
Hold up. Wait, let me think about that.
I almost said, heck no.
No. Can't. Yeah, don't say that.
I don't think believers are allowed to. So,
easy.
But what I'm saying is that I understand the value within relationship in the kingdom.
And that's the component. And that's why it's so, even outside of like us just podcasting, it is very important for us to get other believers onto our, and that's one thing that we do. We do pull other believers onto our channels, channel and podcasts. This is one channel, multiple podcasts.
Soon to be another channel. Go ahead.
We pull
right, two more. Go ahead.
We pull other people in, babe.
I'm sorry, I'm just saying what I've seen.
Okay.
Sorry.
But we pull other people in because we don't know it all.
Yes.
And that's the one thing that we as believers that we have recognized. And that's the one thing that some people don't want. This is my podcast. I'm not going to have everybody on my podcast. You know what I mean? You do have people that are like that. And that's where
we've
had to the message today.
I think we've had believers on our podcast. We've had unbelievers on our podcast. But still, when you step in this arena,
this is what we have. And this is what you
This is the, as my pop was saying, this is the standard.
This is what we're doing. And this is how you're going to follow it.
That's what it is. Because it makes no sense that we can come on their podcast, because I've seen it happen more now than ever before, because we're in those days where people are looking for true sons and daughters of God.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. That's why they come to us and be like, okay, so how do you handle things in your marriage?
Mm-hmm.
They want to say righteous marriage, your godly marriage, but at the end of the day, how are you married for so long now? Because I put God first.
That's it.
And everything else behind that, because it lines up.
Because if not, like,
that's why they coming to us. They want to say, hey, look, I must lose my whole family because I done cheated with this person and cheated with that one. Lil Wayne said on song said, let me start. The messages I've been getting is not working for me. So I'm going to bring this Christian person, believer on, to give me and my audience some advice.
Right. Because that's the way to do it. So as believers, though, we got to be able to do the same thing. We can't act like we know all of it just because this is our channel and this is the clout. And that's the one thing that I love about what we do. What we do, we bring on other people so that other perspectives are shared in this walk. Because even between you and I, our walk has been completely opposite.
Yeah.
Like complete, like just total. Like, yeah. Yeah. So
it's the gang.
it is. But in those moments is that, like you said, you had to get to a point where he's like, I don't give a doggone. Well, I'm finally now at that point. Like you reached that point, well, I don't care. And then I had to go through some things to get me to the point where, okay, whatever, I don't even care no more. And not in the instance that I don't care or I'm unbothered, but it's just, hey, if, and I had to tell one of my FCA babies that she goes, I don't know what to do. Like, how do I handle it? Because she just doesn't like me, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'm like, and let her be her who she is.
You want to say bump?
I did bump it, forget her. But what I said to her was, I had to tell her to come back because in that passing, like I couldn't get what I needed to get out to be able to provide clarity for her. So I had her come back, and I said, hey. She's like, is she just being rude? Is she doing this? And I say, hey, this is where I turn the other cheek. It's going to be easier said than done. Let me give you these 2 scriptures right here to meditate on with that. And I said, this is just an area of prayer. I said, but guess what? God told us we still got to love her too. Like, sure. And so, but she walked away. And one, I was glad that she came to me instead of going to a friend for some advice. That probably went to the left. So she came to me.
Both been in the office.
Everybody been in office. And I would have been in office trying to figure out what, unwise. That's that blood thicker than water type thing. My bestie said. So in those moments, just like that babe in Christ had to come and ask what was the right way to do it. And then me being in the same line. Because if I was, when I was in middle school, I forget her. But that's not wise enough for her. And so that's why for our platform, for other platforms that are out there, it is very important because we do have a lot of young people that are coming to Christ. We have a lot of people who are converting from whatever they practice to our faith and becoming Christ followers. Yeah. So it is very important for us to be very mindful and not judge. The little trend going around, we listen and we don't judge. Well, that's what we have to be. Some things we got to check. We got to have a checkpoint, though.
I think, but a lot of times as believers, and that's why I love mom and dad. Like mom said, I came from the club to church. And this is true facts. But a lot of times, in order, like when you catch a fish, you got to catch the fish
before you start. Yeah, you got to catch it. You got to make sure.
So
you sitting in water too.
Like you can't get mad if you trying to clean the fish and it's flopping. You ain't caught it.
Yes, you got to get it.
Boy, like you got to get to the point where when you catch people, when you catch them in a state of. And the crazy part is not you catching them.
Right.
It's God allowing them. Mm-hmm. And they're at a place in their life where they want to make a change. And a lot of times I've learned this in my days of being a believer. All we are doing when a person is saved and they are in the kingdom, only thing we are doing is rooting for them. Ultimately, it's up to them to make the decision of whether they're going to follow God truly or do what most of the world do. Feel like they can just do things lukewarm.
Right.
So I understand it even more now than ever before on how souls are really won. Because if you get to the point where if a person stumbles and fall, like I look at babes in Christ as babes in Christ. If we're being honest, a lot of us are still yet babes in Christ. We're still yet trying to figure this. Every day, every 24 hour is a day of trying to figure this thing out. And the thing is, you trying to figure out is where you're going to fall short.
Yeah.
You got, at some point, you have to say, oh, God, look, I'm like this. Okay, God is yours. Whatever I'm dealing with, whatever my stronghold is, whatever my insecurities is, I give it to you. Even the things I feel like I'm firing, I still yet give it to you. Because it's not about me. It's about whoever's looking at this camera who needs changing in their life. I'm just a vessel. I'm just a conduit. That's it.
And that's where, I mean, and that's where that stripping of self and then that humbling of self and being reminded, I mean, in the word today, plain and simple, being reminded in those times, hey, let me make sure that my motive and what I'm trying to do, let me make sure I'm not being overly ambitious to have
The light.
the light. Right. I'm trying to get to the top, and in the middle of me getting to the top, I'm kicking everybody else down, and those are the people that are pushing me up. Like, we have to be very mindful about that. And I think that's lately been the thing of what's being spoken is we have to be intentional, and then we also have to know that time and chance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm up today, I'm good today. But then tomorrow I could be down, but who am I going to allow to lift me up? Because if I'm up at the top and I'm saying I'm a believer, but I'm like, donkey kicking everybody that done help me stay afloat. And then when I do fall, people not trying to help me. Like, why would I? And that's why we can't be so high and mighty, especially on this platform is, we're very intentional about when we shoot content.
Yeah.
We're very intentional about how we shoot content. We're very intentional. I mean, I remember, and this is just transparency, like, babe, go back and look at, some of my other stuff and, critique yourself. And I'm like, well, I ain't like how I said this to you. I ain't like how I was looking. I didn't like, but then I had to sit with that because then it went from, okay, I was convicted, but not really. I was telling myself, oh, that's just conviction. But really, I was condemning myself because I'm beating myself up about it because, hey, this is what I'm doing. But I had to realize, like, okay, but the only person that can fix that is you. So, fool, fix it. Like, stop being foolish and just fix it.
Yeah, a lot of times you gotta let it go.
And so,
Lego.
that's
let God.
Just like the little thing we just saw before we get started. I forgiveness. I forgive. But we have to walk in that. And as believers, we have to be very mindful, even though these are our platforms that we have decided to create because that's how we see it. But it really isn't. Is God has told us to do something, and this is the way we're doing it because this is what He said to do.
I told you. I think the theme of this thing is God. Like, you're like, what's your theme? Listen? The theme of this podcast is overcoming rise. It's crazy that the coffee got
It's rise.
It's rise.
I really want a bag of it.
Link is in the description.
Link is in the description.
But that's what it is. And the theme of it is just God. Like, this platform is never been about. Anything I do is never really about. Because honestly, I told you, I don't want to do this. The most fire preachers are those who don't want to do it.
Hey, I said that. I was like, no, that was last night. I told when Revette was like, yeah, I got to preach. I was like, yeah, man, better you than me. I said, I just want to, let me just teach. She said, and them be the ones right there. He said this. She was like, and Mo be like, I told her to stop learning from it. But those
be the most impactful teachers, preachers, pastors. Those who are just like, listen, honestly, y'all, I can care less about this title. I'm just doing the will of God.
That's it. I ain't trying to just let me teach it. That's it.
I don't want no elevation, service. I don't want nothing like that. I'm not worried about titles. I'm not worried about celebrity status.
Road.
I just care about the heart of the people.
Right.
And to me, that's the most important thing. The heart of the people, and this thing is truly about God. Anything you want to do or talk about before we close, think on your heart, your aortic pump. Okay. Any news about the More Tip podcast that you want to share with anybody?
Might be on screenshot that. Please don't do that, y'all. That was a horrible face. So.
And they will say something.
They will, because I said something. They're like, oh, let me go back and get it. Let me go back and get it. Like, oh my gosh. So those of you that have been trying to figure out what's going on with Mo and Tiff podcast.
We're not breaking up.
Not-
Mister.
I mean, he started over podcast. No,
No,
I
he started those.
he started over.
Blame him.
I have not been released to do a Tiff podcast solo or nothing. And no. So, but those of you that have been wondering and have been trying to figure out when Tiff and Mo or Mo and Tiff, yeah, I know. But some folks be like, well, she said her name for he did. I just just covering the bases,
Listen,
Mo and Tiff.
we don't send the limo.
Don't you worry about trying to get in it. But we will be I'm gonna call it relauncher. I say relauncher. We coming back. We'll be back. We will be back, and you can expect us 1125.
First episode.
And
we just getting into.
So mark your calendars.
Mark your calendar.
1125.
They drop her.
Who knows what we're gonna do?
Man, he might give you a gift.
But in the process of that, enjoy any type of content you see coming through, and always make sure that you are following the Over Podcast.
Please do, man.
For more episodes and guests and
it's gonna be
hot topics. Hot fire.
It's gonna be some guests coming.
Topics. Y'all been say y'all highs jumping over here. Like people hunting him down. Hey yo, when am I be on the Over Podcast? Like, that's how you know it's gonna be good. Like, it's gonna be good when you 2 episodes in. This is episode 2, right?
Yeah, people pulling up.
You episode 2, and people are already hunting you down because they see, like, that's where and they see the light. That's where your light is being shown.
You talking me up, bro? Give me amped.
Like, I be sitting there like, podcast. I'm like, they coming like that. That's how you know that what God has deposited into you to give to people and to bring others in for them to share in. That's how you know it's gonna be good. That's how you know when you got people like hyped and ready and willing to share their knowledge and their wisdom. Yo,
I've ducked this for a long time too.
Like that's how, like, they're gonna know. That's how they know. How are they gonna know? Because they asking. They are wanting it. The people, the body of believers, the body of unbelievers. This is what is needed.
And we gonna give it to them. Thank y'all for tuning in. I am Mr. Mo.
And I am Mrs. Mo.
See y'all in the next episode.
And remember,
keep God first.
And the rest
will be at.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell button. That was what he's supposed to say, but he didn't say that part.
Yeah. I'm signing off.
You gotta hit the people to subscribe.
Hey, hit the notification bell, hit the subscription. The thing is, if you do, that's good. If you don't, I'm just glad you stopped by.
You watched it. That's all that matters.
Talk to y'all later.